Welcome back. Right now, I'm very excited to be speaking with Michael Ferrera. He's joining us from LA. Very much looking forward to learning more about Michael, everything he's doing, where he's been, where he hopes to go. I know we will be inspired and much more today. Michael, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So, Michael, let's start with where you are and where you hope to be. I'm curious about your journey. You've done many different things, so I'd love to hear more about where you started to get to where you are right now.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for that question. I think the journey is exactly that, a journey. I think the beauty part of being an entrepreneur and running multiple businesses is having the ability to adjust, readjust, and plan accordingly to get to the destination that you desire. Because many times that destination is not often a straight line, but many times a squiggly line or up and down line or a jagged line to get there. But the most important thing is knowing what that destination is. And after trying multiple businesses in the past, being a fashion designer now, going on 20 plus years, it's such a blessing and a joy to be able to stick with it and know in the new direction that we're headed. Now shifting from a luxury collection of bespoke to going into a luxury collection of ready to wear, and having conversation with some major fashion houses and retail stores throughout the nation and the globe, for that matter, is where we're headed in building this Michael Ferrera clothing collection here.
Very exciting to hear. When you talk about the twists and turns and the things that have happened that you didn't see coming and didn't expect, that I'm sure were really hard at the time,
Yeah.
what really stands out to you? Is there a certain turn that your life took that you remember more than another? And that being said, when life did kind of change and switch, how did you have the courage to keep going on and not feel like you had failed?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I can't say that there's one, but I will highlight one of them. And I think the the biggest thing that I've learned is persistence and consistency, and those are the biggest things that allow entrepreneurs to succeed at a high level. And in working with some of the individuals that I've worked with at Fortune 10 companies throughout the world, I found the same traits in those individuals as well as myself. Just being in a position to stay persistent, stay disciplined, and run the course. One of the biggest tricks that that we all may go through at some time is the funding. But the funding part really is not in the beginning parts for me, but mainly when you get to the point where you're actually in a position to growing a company, building a company, and then you hit those terms where you don't understand taxing, right? And taxing could be a word that everyone does not like, but at the same time, it's something that is part of a business. And when you don't know and you have a lack of knowledge of how to deal with those items or address those items, you're in a position where you kind of question yourself and say, are you good enough, right? Are you worthy of this? Should you be doing this? Or should you just, get a job and pay bills? But as an entrepreneur, going through multiple different companies, you have to really, in my opinion, I truly believe that you can have whatever you want in life if you truly believe it. And I really coached myself and trained myself to believe that. And if I was truly believing that, then it's something that I had to do. I had to go through that challenging financial taxing time where, revenue is coming in, income is coming in, sales are coming in, but then there's this taxing thing that you did not know about. How do we address that issue? And when you have those numbers and you see those when revenue is coming in, when you see them, you're now in a position to kind of evaluate like, whoa, okay, we did it, right? We've accomplished some financial success here. How do we address that and make sure that we're playing the field in the right place? So, around that year seven, year eight, when the taxes are really noticeable, let's say it that way, noticeable, you're now in a position to, I was in a position where I just reevaluated and kind of challenged myself if I was worth it, if I was doing it right, and if I had the ability. And when I got over the hump, that know that this was part of the journey, as you mentioned before, like knowing that this is part of the journey and the learning process, you understand that you can get over that and through it to continue to grow to even higher levels that we're achieving today.
And when you mentioned getting over that hump and being able to push through that, how did you do that? Did you ask for help? Were you able to
Yeah,
bring people
great
on?
question.
Yeah, what did you
Yeah,
do?
great question. And the main thing, full transparency, it's not me, right? It's not me. And I think we as entrepreneurs and those individuals that desire entrepreneurship or are business owners, you have to understand that it's just it can't be done alone, right? I definitely have a great team of individuals in house with me now, and team members that have their certain roles, and their roles are solely to address this issue. This concern shipping details, this concern of accounting and billing and invoicing and receivables, and the list goes on, right? So absolutely, I had to employ a team that allowed me to focus on my craft of designing, creating, and building a company that can generate a legacy and a longevity. But I had to bring in other people, so it was really understanding and talking with other colleagues that were in business longer than I am, and get referrals and introductions to accountants and business professionals that were in a place to help me and say, hey, Michael, right, we've been here, we've done this before. This is how we solve it. This is how we get out of it. And now that we're out of that situation, we know how to handle it, as it progresses, because it's something that doesn't go away, but it's something that you can handle and manage accordingly once you employ and have the right team. So absolutely.
So, not to be afraid to reach out and get that help that you need. What attracted you to fashion to begin with? What brought you into this particular industry?
Yeah, one of my favorite questions. I've always loved clothes. I've always loved looking good, feeling good. I do believe that when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, you can perform and operate and act at the best person that you are, whether that be personally or professionally. So it's always been innate in me to attract to colors, to attract to fashion. And again, I believe that we get to portray ourselves the best when we feel our best. And many times that's, wearing things that are comfortable, wearing things that allow us to present ourselves in the right way. And that's really what attracted me. However, the tipping point is that although we can't see it here, I'm relatively tall. I'm standing at 6'5", and it's not easy to find clothing that you can walk into a store and find things that fit you perfectly. It's just really tough to find. And I do encourage people that when they find a clothing or a brand or a store that has their size, has their fit, right? Try to just embrace that brand. Try to embrace that clothing store or collection, and truly be able to add multiple pieces that can enhance your image and allow you to look and feel your best at all times. And you don't have to worry about it. And you don't have to think about, oh, do I look good? Do I feel good? And am I presenting myself well? Because after you find those brands and companies, that's what allows you to be your best. And for me, on the taller side, I really have to put myself in position to actually create my clothes, right? So although I did, study business economics at university, I did go to fashion school after with the intention of learning the craft, knowing that I wanted to be a designer, but knowing how to tailor and cut and fit to the taller gentlemen and to the individuals that have unique idiosyncrasies inside of their body in order to create impeccable images. And that was why I decided to go full force into clothing and bespoke, and now being able to cater in a ready-to-wear collection. But understanding the uniqueness of being tall and being able to serve people as well as myself inside of that entity.
I loved how you mentioned that when you find your style, when you find your particular brand or line or whatever it is that makes you feel good, how much that does change your confidence and change just your overall well-being. And it's something that really means a lot to every one of us. So I'm curious, you mentioned that you are moving to kind of a ready-to-wear. What is your emphasis mostly on right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that question because we are building an absolutely fantastic luxury collection now. And our emphasis really will be on casual elegance. And the way we bring that into fold is that although we specialize in evening wear, tuxedos, wedding gowns, business suits, red carpet attire is where we focus and have directed our attention for the past 15 to 16 years. We really have built a brand and a connection with our audience that allows us to really know that, we're not always wearing a full tuxedo. We're not always wearing a full suit. So how can we cater to these individuals in a position that can allow them to still keep their image and integrity and professionalism while still having a casual, comfortable t-shirt, denim, or cashmere sweatsuit or hoodie to look good as they're going out into casual environments. Simultaneously, prior to the ending or diminishing of a pandemic, we had this idea, and we really knew that we wanted to accomplish both the high tier of evening wear as well as that mid tier of professional casual attire. And I think the motivation from what we saw inside of these past 2 years allow us to really devote time to creating quality products that can be worn on a daily basis to still give a professional image and still be very comfortable while doing it. So many things we're devoted to are casual jackets, luxury cashmere hoodies, uh, t-shirts, denim, and shorts that can be worn in casual settings as well as professional environments as they're done correctly with the appropriate shoes and accessories. So that's really where we're focusing our attention in that casual, elegant era.
I look forward to seeing all of the incredible things that you will be doing in that space. I know we've just barely touched the surface of everything that you're involved in, your businesses, other streams of revenue, everything that you have going on that you're balancing. And I look forward to talking to you even more at a later date. In the meantime, though, how can we get more information about your company, what you're doing now, and follow along with more of you and enjoy your inspiration?
Absolutely. Thanks for that. And thanks for having me again. The best way usually is on social. Everything is related. It probably may see something on your screens or somewhere below. MichaelFerrera.com is the best place to find all of the resources of what we're doing next, what we currently have, and then social as well at Michael Ferrera, which we simply focus on as our brand and our collection. And in all spaces, on all platforms, is where you can find us with that specific tag or hashtag or name as you search there.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, learning more about your journey, where you've been, where you're going. Really have enjoyed everything about learning who you are, what you're doing, and look forward to following along. We'll be back with more right after this.